We are live on the J Hood Creative. What? No, the J Hood Comics channel. Hashtag rebranding. We're here
What?
for a
You changed
special
the name?
episode of Pop Culture Spooky Time. Almost said clobbering time because it's up there on the screen.
Comics.
We'll be right back with you after
Are we
this.
live for real?
Yes.
Are we doing this gimmick again?
Oh, that.
And then we're back. Okay, don't do that.
The J Hood channel, famous for their excellent, perfectly hammered out opening segments. Thanks for joining us, everyone, on this fine Saturday morning. Rob Boswell is here hanging out with us. And we've got Tony's Workbench. Good to see you this morning. Alan, Vic, how are you guys doing today?
Well, I'm just trying to get some light here because, our people don't necessarily show up good when there's no light around.
You like my Halloween costume? I'm a poor man, immortal Biggie Shack, man. That's what I am.
You're the mortal Biggie Shack.
Yes.
Hey, I'm mortal. You're gonna kill me. Look at this banger. Too sweet in it. I'm too sweet in it. Too sweet in Captain. No.
You can't go wrong with John Byrne Captain America.
I like that you don't know what the too sweet is. Anyways, I'm Creepy Al.
Look,
I'm
I
Creepy Al.
hung
Look
up
at this.
my wrestling chops back in like 1990. So anything
This,
after
this,
that,
this is
you
my
wrecked
J
the
Hood.
golden years?
My
I
J
think
Hood
that was
shirt.
WrestleMania 3.
You're on my shirt, Jamie.
There it is.
Ugh, comics bad.
Fire back!
How's my hair? Ooh wee.
Looking good this morning.
I'm jet set, baby. I'm jet set.
So it's been a while since we've done a show. So
Yeah, I know. I've been hogging everything.
It's good to be back. I want to have like a extra laid back episode.
It's a Halloween episode.
I had all kinds of smart ideas planned, and I got no support from my crew for them. So we'll just wing it. We got some good stuff planned.
Well, I've told you, I live my life in a horror adverse way.
No, it was funny because like all the ideas Jamie was throwing us, and we were just like, "What? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't." Anyway, hey, can I show you guys what I did last week? I know that you guys, I know that you guys never watch. So here I did. I
was getting ready to try it. Oh, that's
Scooby Doo villains, but they're all evil looking, like really evil or messed up.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was fun. I was supposed to do 3 more. Look at my third eye; it's great. 3 more, but I'm like, I have a life now, and I'm kind of like trying to be happy. No. Whoa! Who's this dude? Anyways, yeah. I usually do like a show when you're not here, sketch them up, and you guys never watch it, and you never tell me how bad or good it is, and I just want to say thank you for being so supportive.
I've been super busy myself, so I haven't had a chance to watch the last episode.
And Vic, he hated the show so much he stopped coming.
Mm-hmm.
I send him links like, hey, this is it. We're doing the show. He ghosts me. This dude's been ghosting me. Mm-hmm. So it's true Halloween because Vic is a ghost today, but he appears out of nowhere. He's like a Loch Ness monster. It's the Vic Ness monster. That's what it is. It's exciting. He's like Sasquatch. He only shows up on your show, Jamie.
I have no
Anyway.
defense for my actions. All I can say is I'll be better.
No, he won't.
I'm gonna have to find a new wingman. I get crazy on it. Anyways, but this is our Halloween show, right?
Yep.
Pop culture, spooky time.
Mm-hmm.
Spooky.
So we're gonna go over our picks for our pop culture, spooky pop culture characters. Yeah.
Yeah, Vic is ghosting everybody. Look at this. Can I raise this? Oh, you already did it. He ghosted us, man. Why are you doing that to me?
Hey, you know, you
Good
can call
morning.
me a ghost all you want. Just don't call me a spook.
I didn't say that. Vic said that. He used that term. Not doing that.
We'll get canceled.
Good morning.
Vic just canceled himself.
So
Oh, I'm looking forward to the day because I think Halloween is my favorite holiday.
Well,
Really?
hands down.
Yeah.
Next to Christmas.
Hmm?
Next to Christmas is good.
I think it's obvious what my favorite holiday is.
Let's stop for
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. No, Halloween is so fun.
You all
And
right?
it's,
So,
yeah.
The coffee's got bones in it this morning.
My head's bigger. Oh, if you noticed, I got a new background here.
Yeah, looking good.
I changed my my area, changing my house around. So I'm still working on this. This is a slapdash, and hopefully it'll look. I got the blue light behind me.
I know, right?
You know those.
I
If you
watched
watch any other
Formula One
YouTubers,
races.
what?
He's answering Magic Lasso's question.
Oh, I thought he said Formula One racist. I'm like, what?
Mhm.
Those are the ones that are just generic racists. They just, anyways. Shouldn't say
I
that.
celebrated by noticing Magic Lasso's posts about Wonder Woman Day.
Wonder
So-
Woman.
If he wasn't spreading the word, I would have known.
Oh. All right, so yeah, it's cosplay day. You don't get into it, anyways. Yeah, so Halloween, spooky time. I mean, how do we get started here? Besides showing the Jamie Hood love, I gotta say, man, I got the question to end all questions. Who is your favorite General Mills spooky monster cereal mascot?
So before the show, I said mine was Frankenberry, but I was lying.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
What's the werewolf?
Fruit Brute.
Fruit Brute.
Yeah.
That's my guy because I like
You
that.
can't have Fruit Brute. That's mine.
Hey, you asked a question.
No, change yours. Change yours.
I'll stick with Frankenberry.
What's the difference between Frankenberry and Blueberry?
The flavoring.
Blueberry is blueberry flavor.
You should like blueberry because it's a ghost, and you ghosted me. Okay, blueberry, you're blueberry, man.
I guess I can't pick Count Chocula then.
Comic collectors.
You could.
Count Chocula. So we got Rob Boswell clocking in with Frankenberry. Tony's workbench says Count Chocula.
I don't know. I might go blueberry. I got the blueberry background here. It's all blueberry.
So you blueberry?
Yeah, I'm blueberrying because of the background. Even though it gives me the blueberries, if you know what I'm saying, after eating it. So, that's the one that goes straight through me. Anyways. All right.
All right. I'll be waiting with bated breath for Wednesday now. All right. So instead of going in like each of us is going to pick one and we're going to talk about it, we're going to go in groups of three. So each of us is going to talk about our groups of three characters. Good morning, Captain Comics. Thanks for joining us. We know his favorite cereal is Captain Crunch. I'm assuming that's it.
But is it peanut butter or regular?
So
It's
since
Crunchberry.
my picks are always the lamest, I'm going to go first.
Hmm?
So let's see what I can.
I feel like Bono.
Let's see here.
And we're gone. We're live, folks.
There
Oh
we
no!
Imagine that. My favorite is Frankenstein.
That's Frankenstein's monster.
Look,
Ooh.
as long as Frankenstein's in the title of the movie, I'm in. I just finished watching Curse of Frankenstein, the first Hammer Frankenstein movie last night. I don't think I'd ever actually seen it. I'd seen pictures, but I was surprised. I mean, my all-time favorite Frankenstein movie is Young Frankenstein.
Of course, right?
Because that pays homage to all the other good Frankenstein movies, including. I was surprised how much influence the Hammer movies had on Young Frankenstein. Actually,
let me correct you, Jamie. It's Frankenstein.
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 Hey, now that's the movie I saw.
My name is Frankenstein.
I mean, Frankenstein. He's always good with the ladies. You know, he's a ladies' man. So that's kind of what I like. I think. I mean,
wait a minute. No. Frankenstein, the monster, the creature. He's the original ghosted, man, because he got a woman made for him. And she just totally dissed him. Okay, this is the saddest thing. He goes in there and he's like, "Oh, friend," and she's like, "F you, dude. What you do? You crazy looking." That's what she was saying. And then he was ready to. He went suicidal, man. He was just like, "Okay, then I'm taking this whole castle down." So no, Frankenstein's monster never got anything.
Well, let me just say that I can relate to him, and that I'm blessed that I was able to find somebody that would stick around. So, otherwise, I would have had the same luck as Frankenstein.
Wait a minute, you like him? You're not like him if that's the case. He didn't. The only way he got one to stick around is that he buried him under the castle.
Well, I'm not going to give up my secrets or anything.
Oh, I have several in my room in the basement. Now, yeah, I love the Bride of Frankenstein's probably out of the two Universal Boris. Well, he did three. You know, the Boris Karloff Frankenstein's. I think Bride of Frankenstein's the best one for me because it's funny and it has some scares to it, and I think his makeup looks really cool with the burns and everything from the first one. And then of course the end when she totally disses him and like he's like, "We belong dead," and just like he goes crazy, man. It was good. I liked it.
Good morning.
Of course, Vic didn't watch it. Vic's never seen it.
I mean, the iconic nature of the character design. I mean, everybody when you think Universal Monsters, you think Boris Karloff as Frankenstein and Bela Lugosi as Dracula, and for whatever reason, the Frankenstein design just always stuck with me.
So, have you ever liked Frankenstein in comic books?
No.
You know, Marvel had their long run of Frankenstein.
The connection to comic books is Bernie Wrightson's adaptation of the Mary Shelley work.
That's the legendary one, yeah.
Yeah. So if anybody is a fan of Bernie Wrightson and doesn't know his Frankenstein adaptation, definitely seek that out. It's the pinnacle of his prowess, so to speak.
If you don't know his Frankenstein, are you even a fan?
Right. Exactly.
I'm casting doubts on your Bernie love.
All right, so here we go. My second pick here. Let me see. Let's pull this thing out.
Vic.
Huh?
Herman Monster. Yeah. I'll say Herman is the man. Darn. I love him. Fred Gwynn. Huge love. Speaking of Bernie.
Yeah, man.
Look at that. The beauty of that.
I mean, if I think horror comic books, Swamp Thing, specifically the Bernie Wrightson work, the Swamp Thing stuff comes to mind as, first and foremost. Sure, you've got like the House of Secrets, House of Mystery, all those horror anthology comics, or even the pre-code horror stuff. But it's just that tiny bit of connective tissue between a superhero and horror. And it's just like the total package for me when it comes to like picking my favorite spooky characters.
And we got to give a shout out to the Wes Craven movie. Growing up, I loved that movie. I mean, it's bad.
I forgot that Wes Craven did that, but yeah, it was like for the time a great adaptation.
Dude, I love that movie. I can go back and watch it. I love the little when the guy turns into like the pygmy and he's like, and he's like, oh, and when he gets his arm cut off, when Swamp Thing gets his arm cut off and he's in there and the sun hits his arm and his arm starts growing again. Oh, I love that. And a young Bridget, what's her name? Adrienne Barbeau. Young Adrienne Barbeau. That don't hurt, my friends. It is very nice on the eyeballs. Anyways, except that I loved her hair. She had like that big perm.
Yep.
Just like, what are you doing with that in a swamp?
So what do you think, Victor? You got any comments on Swamp Thing here?
He likes everything. He liked his appearance in Werewolf by Night. That's all Vic has to say.
I didn't watch Werewolf by Night.
Well, spoilers.
Scary.
Too scary.
We'll get into Victor's backstory with horror stuff here in a minute.
All right. I only have one Swamp Thing story.
Okay.
Is that he doesn't know who he is. Oh boy.
Because after seeing Shang-Chi, I said, Jamie, I had no Swamp Thing was in Shang-Chi. He said, that's not Swamp Thing, it's Man Thing. And thanks for the spoilers. Like, oh. Okay.
Spoiler. Well, I just returned the favor with
he's like,
Werewolf by Night.
Not Man Thing. So, yeah.
I like the sequel, Man Boobs.
Yeah, Swamp Thing did. What was that, Al?
I said I like the other movie, Man Boobs. I thought the Man Thing. No, Swamp Thing. You gotta find the early comics, not the 70s, but the stuff that Bernie was doing with Lin Win and man,
that was the 70s stuff. Captain Comics asked, what comic book was Frankenstein's first appearance? It was a Classics Illustrated. It's a Golden Age book.
That is amazing.
I only know because the community has taught me about it.
Is that the one where his nose is like kind of like pinched in his nose?
There were actually two editions of that put out, and one looks more based on movie or it's got a design to it, and the other's just got like a guy running, and it's the guy Frankenstein's monster, but he doesn't look all that horrific.
I got a question. Did Vic just leave, or he just ghosted us again? Is that what it is?
He's working up out a leg cramp or something over here.
Okay.
Foot was falling asleep.
Discovery Bay thinks the Frankenstein that early X-Men was actually a robot. Could be. I know the book you're talking about. That was supposed to be Frankenstein's first appearance in Marvel, I believe.
Oh my God.
All right. So here we go with my
one more
third choice. The fewer the tabs I have open, the easier it is to find these things. So speaking of
baby. Is that me waking up?
For whatever reason, John Carpenter's The Thing is on my mind lately, and I need to go back and watch that real soon. It's one of the best horror movies in my opinion. Again, it's got a little bit of a science fiction kind of aspect to it as well, but it's kind of one of the precursors of we're trapped in here with a monster kind of movies.
Yeah. Oh, it did it to the best. It makes you feel though, because it does some cheap heat when it takes out some dogs, and you're like, oh no, and then you're never sure. I mean, especially if it's your first time watching, if you're paying attention, it's always fun to go, wait a minute, when did this person turn into a thing, and when it's human or whatever. So it's always interesting. And there's so many theories. If you watch the ending, you're like, okay, who's the thing here? Are either of them the thing? Or no spoilers, but it's over 40 years old. So
but, I mean, the fact that it's like it spawned a video game. What's the video game that my kids are into?
The those Among Us.
Among Us.
Among
Yeah.
Us.
Oh yeah, Among
And
Us.
the TV series is coming on Netflix here soon.
Well, also
Among Us.
Yeah.
It makes total sense.
Also, Alien. I mean, that was also an alien. You know, come on.
Right.
That was before that.
But but it's closer to the thing because people don't know who the alien is, and the alien is out to get them and
Right.
kind of absorb them into their hive.
That's who you should have been for Halloween. The Among Us character. Just wear red with the.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're so sus. You're sus. Okay.
Dude, when the first time I heard "sus" was from my now 10-year-old. All right, let's
Whoa.
load up choices here.
Oh, Rob didn't like that picture. I think I dated that character, the thing, once. Yeah.
I purposely chose that one because of Victor's aversion to horror. So
Is that why you laughed?
Ever since I was a little tyke, I watched several horror movies. You know, like Amityville Horror, The Blob, The Fog. What was the other one? Poltergeist.
Yeah.
And you know, I shouldn't have been watching those. I was way too young, and it just made me kind of averse to horror movies because I didn't like being scared. I didn't like being yelled at. When my parents came home, they saw the lights on, all the lights on. My mom's like, "Why are all the lights on in my blankety blank house?" At 10 o'clock at night. I couldn't tell it because I was scared because I watched something I wasn't supposed to be watching. But I did, and I got in trouble. But, so I've just kind of led a horror adverse life. Friday the 13th, never saw him. Halloween, nah. Closest I come is giving out candy and getting candy.
Man.
So my horror movie picks are a little soft. Like one, I didn't even know the name of the movie. I just knew that Scatman Carruthers was in it.
Well, let's get into his before he blows all the suspense.
All right, we'll do this one since he's kind of tipping his hat here.
Right.
Now hold on. Me and Vic have talked this over, and today we are unveiling the Coach Vic Awards. Okay.
Okay, so the category really is
Yeah.
creepy little white girls. Okay.
And this year, the recipients are, of course, the people you see before you. The Creepy Little White Girls Award goes to the Shining Girls.
Why? Because there's two of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Honorable mention to the
look
other
at
one.
these movies. That was a creepy little white girl involved. The Ring, The Shining, Poltergeist. I mean, there's always like if I was ever watching His Girls and one of them came down the steps and did something creepy, I'd be calling him from my van out in the street. Okay, your girls are at home. You can come home whenever. I think they're good.
When they start walking on the ceiling, you got a problem with it?
Oh no! When they start walking on the ceiling.
My favorite thing that when he suggested these characters, he just like, yeah, Red Rum with Scatman Crothers. And I was like, oh, Scatman was a star. Yeah, I guess he was a co-star, but he was still a big deal in the movie. But I liked how he framed it. It's not Jack Nicholson. It's Scatman Crothers that was the main star. He was the hero. He was the hero of the movie. I'll say that. He saved the day. If it wasn't for him getting axed into the chest, they wouldn't have got away. So it's actually a very sad. They should do a movie on Scatman's character.
I think it's inspired casting, though.
Oh, I love Scatman. I love him.
You know, the more I look at it, the one on the right looks a little bit like one of your daughters.
There you go.
There's your for next Halloween.
Yeah.
You'll be knocking on Victor's door.
Yeah. Come play with us, Victor. Creepy Little White Girls Award goes to the Shining Girl, the Brady Girls, because they're not twins. People think they're twins, but they are not. They're not real twins.
Rob Boswell. I saw the thumbnail for that, and I was like, I know exactly what this is. And I watched the trailer. I'm like, this is exactly what it looks like, and it looks like incredible fun.
You mean the horror movies looks like? I don't get it. I don't get it.
So next year we'll look at. I'm going to be holding my. I'm not going to be holding my breath, but I'm going to be waiting for next year if we do another show, Halloween show. Who is going to be the next recipient of the creepy little white girl award from Coach Vic?
Sounds like Megan has a chance here. Megan.
I think there's a lot of little kids that could get this. Maybe we might have a shout out to Gage from Pet Cemetery, creepy little white boy. He might win. I mean, we got to be all inclusive, you know. We can't just factor in the little white girls.
You know, the MTV awards don't have actors and actresses anymore. They just have the actor award.
How about creepy little white kid awards? We'll go with that.
All right. Okay, before we talk about this, we gotta shout this out.
Hey, see that, kids? That's the St. Louis Arch, the gateway to the west. It's over 600 feet tall, and there's an elevator all the way to the top. That's 60 stories, you and me.
Wow, Dad, can we go up on it?
No.
Because our friend Vincent Price is from
St. Louis. You know me, I got to stay on brand, right? And I mean, outside of him being from St. Louis, I walked across the Star on the St. Louis Walk of Fame a billion times, and Thriller, which I thought was why he got the Star on the Walk of Fame. I didn't know anything much about him, and then I started, doing a little bit of research. This man's been everything that's been remade. The Fly, House of Wax. Who knew House of Wax was a remake? House was good.
Okay, so how many of Vincent Price's horror movies have you seen?
I saw the Thriller video.
That's great. You can always count on Coach Vic to just not know.
Andy, good to see you this morning.
Oh yeah, Poltergeist Girl. I didn't want to stay on brand too much. Apparently, that allegedly took place in St. Louis too. But
well, here's the thing: we gotta save all the next year. She's in the running for next year, but this year the Shining Girls won. So,
yep. Good
luck for all the creepy little white girls next year for the Coach Vic Creepy Little White Girl Award. Play us out, Maestro.
I was amazed, looking at his resume, and he's done a ton of horror movies. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, it is.
He's like he's like the Scream King. You know what I mean? How they got Scream Queens. He's the Scream King.
I mean, next to Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi, there's Vincent Price.
He's done more than them for sure. He did. He started in the 30s and ended in the 80s. You know, he was in Edward Scissorhands, which was
like everybody else. He ended with Disney projects, but
the majority of his body of work is all horror oriented.
Yeah. Like The Tingler.
Yeah, that's my favorite
nowadays.
Rob Boswell's watching Children of the Corn. I'm sure there's some creepy little white girls.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's just a whole bunch of creepy little kids.
Creepy little white kids.
I was trying not to say that because there might have been one sprinkled in there.
Let's sprinkle that a little bit of nice white creepy kids. There you go. And sprinkle it up.
That's an affirmative action hire.
Can you imagine this? That would be creepier than all of a sudden just one lone black kid shows up and the white kids are, it'd be like, what the heck?
Well, The Tingler was the first one on the list here.
But yeah, let's talk about Vincent Price, man. He's done everything. Of course, well known for the Thriller ripoff because he didn't get paid for that and he was very angry. I
didn't hear that story.
Yeah, he did not get paid for that. But also there was the Scooby-Doo Mysteries that he was a part of. He was like the Doctor Strange character in that. I actually did a like a fan art of him as Doctor Strange, because if you look at him, they had to have been thinking of Vincent Price when they did Doctor Strange in the 60s.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's Doctor Strange, man.
One of Victor's favorite spooky characters is Vincent Price, and he's just figuring out like what he's done.
Oh, he was just picking, man. He was just like any names he could figure out. He was just like,
I
the
knew
guy
Vincent
in
Price
the
was horror. I knew he was from St. Louis. I knew he did the Thriller album.
Good morning,
Great.
Compton.
He went to Country Day School, the same school Sterling K. Brown went to.
Oh, Rob Boswell he's shouting out Return of the Living Dead. That is a classic comedy, dark comedy movie. That's the one thing. A lot of these movies, Vic, you're thinking are scary. A lot of them are dark comedies.
Is that the one where they're yelling brains, and they're attacking people?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like,
I was thinking of watching that one night.
Yeah, thinking of that. One of these nights you can.
I didn't sleep at all that night.
You probably shouldn't watch Return of the Living Dead, because there's a scene in the cemetery with a young girl dancing naked, and you probably shouldn't be watching that. You're too young for that.
All right.
Anyways, we got number 3.
By far.
Here we go.
By far. Is the Armitage family.
Who?
The Armitage family.
I don't know.
Okay, so this amazing movie that you need to watch called Get Out.
That's a painful watch.
Called Get Out involves these white people getting black people, hypnotizing them, and then selling them off at auction to other white people.
Taking over their bodies.
That would never happen.
Mm-hmm.
No, they take over their bodies. They push their spirits and their minds down, and then they take over them, like they swap minds or something, you know.
Just saying, if I'm ever around here, your wife starts mixing her coffee and taking the glass 3 times, I'm out the door. That was the beginning of the hypnosis.
Got it.
But Get Out, great movie.
Yeah, it's hard to watch because there's that, you can't. It feels like you're kind of like being forced. It's like a forced movie. Like you it's almost claustrophobic. It's really claustrophobic because it's like you're being held down and you can't do anything. And you're watching this movie. It's like, oh my God, you just want to run, but you can't. And it's very, to me, that's the way I felt watching it.
Yeah,
it's basically about oppression. It's early, you're being like your soul, your spirit, your personality is being pressed down, is being oppressed, so they can control you and make you clean and stuff, you know. So,
and apparently Jordan Poole has just had all these horror movies waiting to go, so he broke off with Jordan Peele. Jordan Poole plays for the Warriors, the pool party. But he's had all these movies just waiting to go because This Is Us looks really creepy, and the new one looks. The new one just looks interesting, but I know better than to trust interesting. I fell for that once with an M. Night Shyamalan.
This Is Us. I think that's a TV show. I think it's just Us, right? It's not This Is Us. This Is Us.
Yeah, Us. This Is Us.
Melodramatic
just Us.
TV show.
It's Us.
Yeah, and then Nope is the new one, and it's about aliens and stuff.
Yeah, Dope.
Nope. Because that's what you would say if something came down. You'd just be like, nope. Bye-bye.
Nope. I said dope. What is wrong with me?
Perfect.
Oh.
Well, folks, this is the part of the show where we take a nap.
Here's my question, though. If it came on Saturday morning, is it really a horror thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds like a bad movie. It came on Saturday morning. And next up, it came on Saturday morning. Sponsored by Pocket Water.
So, Al, I'm going to present these in the order you listed them in.
Okay, I don't remember, but hey, let's shoot, guys. Of course, you know,
I have to say, I would share a few of these as some of my favorites. So
right? Here we go. First, Gene. I'm talking young. I meant all of Kiss, okay? But if you're gonna take one guy that epitomizes the Halloween aura spookiness, when I was a kid, man, and I'm looking at those like all the pictures of Kiss, Gene Simmons, the Demon, he just pops out.
mm-hmm.
I mean, inspired by Black Bolt and all these other Marvel comics and Dracula and stuff. Just when he would walk out on stage and he'd have those big old boots, demon or dragon boots, and he has the axe. And oh my goodness, childhood. When I see him, I just like. I mean, young Gene. I'm not talking like plastic surgery 78-year-old Gene. I'm talking 76 to like 83 Gene. Well, then Elder came out and he looked kind of, when he cut his hair, he's Samson, okay?
Right.
He got his hair cut. That was it. Even though he was great in Runaway. If you haven't seen Runaway with Tom Selleck and Gene Simmons as the heel, oh my goodness. He is so good. He was meant to play that character. You ever seen Runaway?
Yeah.
Has the little spider robots that inject you full of acid and just,
it's
oh my
like
goodness. If we want to talk just creepy, that is it. And he had this heat-seeking bullet gun. And but let's talk about the Demon. Just the blood spitting, the fire spitting, his movements, the way he would walk out. I remember I was talking to you. I wanted you, okay? I wanted you to paint me. I know I'll never pay you for it. Gene Simmons as Godzilla or versus Godzilla. That's what I think would be great. Just like, but him like crushing a city would be awesome. And just the visual, all four of the dudes. I'm talking Paul and Ace and Peter, Chris, and all four of them have that magic when they were together and stuff. It's just, you can say what you want about the music. You can say what you want about the Kiss meets the Phantom of the Fair or whatever it's called. But just the look of these guys, sign me up, you know. He is creepy.
Yeah, one song in the Library of Congress, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
I think they have one song that's been listed in the Library of Congress.
What's it take to get listed in the Library of Congress?
You have to be a super elite song. I think I Want to Rock and Roll All Night.
Yeah, sure. They're most famous ones.
But
if you want to listen to some good Gene songs, War Machine is like awesome. And that was after Ace and Peter Criss had left. But War Machine, you better watch out, because I'm a war machine. That is great. And that fits him. You know, and of course, God of Thunder and all those are really good. But visually, Gene is like, if you see him, you know it's Kiss. But you could also see him in a horror movie. You know what I mean?
The entire shtick of the band is their theatrics and putting on a show and being over the top,
right?
Giving you an experience. My first exposure to Kiss was in second grade. The little girl I had a crush on, her brother had Kiss Alive 2, so she brought that into like second grade elementary school. So at recess we were like listening to it. So I got it for Christmas. I got the full album. Or no,
really?
I think I saved up and bought it. I don't think I got it as a gift. But the thing about the Kiss Alive 2 album, the 12-inch, you got a poster, you got a booklet of images like this that showed like all the band members and all these publicity stills and stuff. You got you got temporary tattoos, like not just one, like a sheet of temporary tattoos.
Nice.
It was like a total package, and it was a gatefold. It was a 2-album set, so. Besides the booklet, you had all the interior of the gatefold of the album had all kinds of pictures like this. So as you would sit there and listen to the album and look at all this crazy stuff, and it was just like they accomplished their mission of like giving you an experience, buying their look and their music.
I think that's what's lost.
$12.99.
Something like that, probably $8 or $10.
Cheap.
That's
but
crazy.
I'm telling you, that's lost today because when you're thinking of Kiss, you're thinking, oh, they're just money grabbing all this stuff. But
Right.
when they came out, that was like, oh my goodness, this is the Universal Monsters, is rock stars type of thing. These are superheroes, whatever. But
Right. I mean,
I think they deserve the place,
they kind of
in pop
developed
culture.
their own like fictional backstory for each character, they kind of persona they took
Didn't they have
on.
a cartoon too?
No.
They were on Scooby Doo.
Yeah, they just came out with the Scooby Doo. It was a couple years ago, and it was pretty awesome. It was very Kirby. If you watch it, it has a lot of when they start singing and stuff and doing their music, it gets really Kirby-ish, and it's pretty freaking cool. Now Jamie's got to go see it. Now Jamie's like, oh, I got to watch that, dude. It's got some Kirby. It's got Kirby power. It's got the boom tube and everything, man. You're just like, wow. Dude, I would have loved to seen like some prime Kirby draw the Kiss guys. Did he ever do that? I don't know.
I doubt it. No, I'm pretty sure he didn't. I
Yeah.
mean, the connection there is that he was working on like the 2001 Treasury about the same time they put out the Kiss Treasury, probably. But yeah,
There's a Kiss Treasury.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andy asked if they had a movie. Yeah, they had a movie. Has anybody ever seen? I've seen it. It's
I saw it as a
Meets the
kid.
Phantom.
The Phantom of the Park.
Yeah. Listen, that's Westworld. If you think about it, it's Westworld. And there was another movie that came out afterwards. I was like, hey, this is just Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad. It is bad, but there you go.
We'll go back to this comment from Discovery Bay. Abbott and Costello meet Dracula. It had Frankenstein, Invisible Man, and Werewolf in it.
Actually, it was
I love
Abbott
Abbott
and
and
Costello
Costello.
meets Frankenstein. That's they meet Frankenstein, and Dracula has to be in it.
There you go.
I'll tell you the one thing.
That's one of the movies I remember though too. I like the fact that the Universal monsters that were in it, but I wasn't into Abbott and Costello, but I watched it for the monsters.
I'm a Three Stooges guy. I would have loved to seen Three Stooges meet those guys. Put them in there instead.
Definitely.
I would have been happy. Because, I like Abbott and Costello, but man, the Stooges are like, oh, spread out. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
They're more accepted by the show.
The funny thing about Kiss in my neighborhood, there's only one person I knew that like really was into them and watched them a lot. And like he came from like the super ultra conservative Christian family in my neighborhood.
Well,
if his dad was like started driving down the street, they're sprinting home because they had to be home when their dad got home.
Yeah. Kiss has a lot of good driving songs. That's all I say. I like to drive, and when I go driving, man, you turn on some Kiss, and I'll be pushing that pedal down, getting tickets because of Kiss. I blame. I'm gonna send them to Gene Simmons all my tickets. Anyways, let's keep going, guys. We still got 2 to do, and I don't know the order of them.
Let's see what's next. Let's go with this one. I would have picked this one too. I told you about it before the show.
Okay. Here we go, guys. This is going to be a weird ending. Our main event's going to be a weird, like, okay, let's talk about this. But Jason Voorhees. I know, Vic, you don't like the Friday the 13th movies. I was raised on Friday the 13th.
I didn't say I don't like him. I never saw him.
Well, hey, tough. I'll tell you what.
Willie's right now.
You want to say you watched movies when you were a kid that you should have been watching. I was watching all those same movies and more, and I wasn't scared of. My brother would dress up like this exact Jason, and we would go walk around town and do crazy stuff. Specifically, my number one Jason, he just passed away. His name is Ted White, and I think it's Ted White. Yeah, Ted White. He was the 4th Jason. He was in the final chapter, which wasn't the final chapter, but we'll look past that. It was the final, and the Jason is still alive, like he's still human series. And then part 5, he wasn't in it. And then part 6, he came back as like Frankenstein zombie Jason. Okay. But this one's the scariest one because the movement he put into it, when he got basically chopped in the side of the head with a machete, and then he slid down. Oh my God! You can see his mouth and tongue moving. He's like the special effects in this. Tom Savini was working his magic on this. Just Jason. I mean, there's Freddy, there's Michael Myers, but Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Jason was something special. It's the hockey mask, especially. Even though part 2 with the hood, that's creepy too. I mean, that hood is like something with the one eye.
Yeah.
And when he takes the mask, and when they take the mask off, and he's got like hair growing, and he's all deformed and stuff. Beautiful. And Jason is just one of those dudes that you can't forget, especially on a Halloween.
I think the thing that he has on all the other characters is, I think Freddy, people like him because of the dialogue he had. I mean, he's got a cool look, but it's that combined with the dialogue. And then so Jason never said anything. He was always silent. But so was Michael Myers. But the difference between Michael Myers and Jason is that Jason had a plethora of weapons. Michael Myers was just the knife. Freddy or Jason's look, like you said, kind of evolved from movie to movie, and the evolution stayed. Like he put on a hockey mask in one movie, and then he had it on in the next one, and his scars would continue from movie to movie and stuff like that. And they even had somewhat of a storyline in like episodes 3 and 4 that connected, but.
Well, four or 3.
I
2,
think,
4, and 3. I think you got to include the end of 1 and then continue. And the one thing that they stopped doing that I loved in the original 3, they would do the slow mo. I think it was the first 2 at least had it when they would go into slow motion, like, da, 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 and you're like, and it just, or he jumped through the window. That was classic. They need to get back to that. If they do new ones, they need to go back to the originals and be like, all right, what was so cool and iconic about this? Andy's saying that Michael Myers is his favorite, and I can tip of the hat. I love Michael Myers.
What was Michael Myers in?
Halloween. Again, thank you, Vic, for not knowing. That's great. But
have a great day, Lasso.
Okay, so Michael Myers, I like Michael Myers in the first 2 movies. Okay, the original Halloween. If none of the other movies were made, just think how creepy and how epic that the final ending of Halloween would have been, where Loomis is out there looking and he doesn't see him, and then you just hear him breathing in other places. Perfect. End it. Don't make any more. That's ended. There you go. But Jason, there's something crazy about Jason. Okay, I'll give you that the movies got cheapy and especially with, and you said he didn't talk. At the end of part 8, Jason talked. It's not like
they made 8 of these movies?
No, they made more than
They
that.
made over 13 of these movies. But in the end of it, he goes, "Mommy, don't let me drown." And then he pukes up blood, and then he gets, because they put toxic waste throughout New York sewer systems every night at midnight.
I have a few questions.
No.
Does he get killed at the end of each movie?
Yeah.
Okay. And
but
then,
does he? That's the thing.
Yeah.
He does get killed, but he's faking it.
That's the same thing with Michael Myers too.
Well, that's my question. So, the kids get dropped off at the camp, right?
The first couple, the rest of them they don't.
So, but when you say kids,
they're counselors.
It's the campers have not arrived yet. It's the staff that is at the camp, setting up the camp. That they're the teenagers doing naughty things. So their comeuppance is Jason's wrath.
Now, after the first person got killed, I'm assuming it was a black person.
Nope. Look here, and I'm here to debunk this. Part 2, Friday the 13th, Part 2. There are people of color in it. They survive. They get away. So
because they left, right?
Right. They left, but they were still there. They didn't get killed. It was all white kids because we don't like white kids, right?
Probably creepy little white girl involved somehow.
Part 7. He fought a Carrie wannabe. when she started off, she was a little kid, and then she grew up, of course. But she's still a white girl, creepy white girl. She had creepy white girl powers.
You get more creepy little white girls in Halloween.
Oh,
Yeah, but she was the protagonist.
Yeah,
She was the
Kevin
protagonist in
Bacon's
that.
role was in Friday the 13th.
really?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon was in the first one. He got the arrow through the throat. You know, and you can see him flinch even though he's supposed to be dead, and because the blood comes up and hits him, and he's like, ooh.
Probably his best acting job, wasn't it?
And HD did not help. HD did not help any of it because you can see the fake skin tone. You know, they need to get George Lucas in there to special edition it so he can like cover that up, and he can add a Jabba the Hutt in the background slithering around. That's what I'm gonna do. That's my. We're gonna special edition Friday the 13th movies and like just. But here's the thing: I love all the badness.
Mhm.
That's the fun of it. Once you get past the it's scary, it's gross. It's like, oh, look at that. You could see the skin tag hanging off. Or no. Well, honorable mention: American Werewolf in London. I love American Werewolf in London. His friend Jack just walking around and he's decaying every time he sees him.
Mhm.
That is beautiful, and I just wanted to do a special shout out to American Werewolf in London. I'm sure you haven't seen that either, Vic.
I feel like I might have, because that's back in the original HBO days, right?
Yeah, it was on there. Yeah, it's
I'm
where
like,
a guy,
sorry,
two friends are in London, and then they get attacked by a werewolf. One
that's where
dies.
Michael Jackson got the idea for Thriller from.
Oh yeah,
It's the same.
well because he's seen. Oh man, what's his name? The famous guy. He did the clumps. He did the.
He did the clumps.
Oh man, he did the Thriller video.
Yeah, I know you got. You're trying to think of his name, the effects guy,
Yeah, the special effects dude.
Johnson or something.
No, is it not Kevin? It's not Matt, and that's not Yeager. Kevin Yeager is the guy that did the Friday the 13th or Freddy makeup. Dang, I know his name, and it's right here in my brain, and it should always be on the tip of my tongue.
It's not Joe Johnson.
No. Joe Johnson's what? It's a director.
Are your fingers doing the walking?
Yeah.
Baker.
Rick Baker.
Rick Baker. Thank you.
Oh,
He
yeah.
also worked on Star Wars.
Yeah.
Rick Baker, yes. Baker. I feel like Airplane when they're like, striker.
He's one
So
of the
it
best
looks like I picked the wrong time
actors.
to quit sniffing glue. Anyways, yes. Rick Baker, the most awesome known guy in all of special effects, and he's fun to listen to as well. I watch many of his appearances on documentaries, and he's got a nice speaking voice.
All right.
Very quiet.
So here's your third pick for today.
My third pick, and this is Coach Vic had Vincent Price, which
Middle class white guy. I get it.
thumbs up. Here is the man I picked, Anthony Perkins, not Anthony Hopkins, who I would give it out because, Hannibal Lecter and all his nice horror movies. But there was something about Anthony Perkins to me. He had that, like, he could be a nice white boy, but then he could be like, oh, and his twitch when he would go, mother, and he would get mad, and like part 2, I think it's part 3 of Psycho. He took that he knew he could feel that he was gonna like want to kill this lady, right? So he put the knife into his hand and just punched it, so it would relieve him of that want. And just as little, if you go back and watch Psycho 2, and maybe even Psycho 3, Psycho 4 is good too. He gets this little twitch, like, like he's kind of, you can sense the way he plays it. The little things he would put into just a scene that he has nothing to do with, almost. Like he's the background guy, and you can see him kind of twitching, like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna kill these people, and his progression of Norman Bates throughout all the 4 movies he did.
Heard of him.
Psycho 2, I think he did some of the better acting in that because he was like healed. He was just, he doesn't get enough credit. I don't think Anthony Perkins did, because he was just, that was kind of like one of his only. He also did like The Dark Side or something like that. He did other horror movies that, no, he wasn't in Magic. Magic was Anthony Hopkins. Yeah, I think that's who he's talking about. When I said Anthony Hopkins, he did that. And I guess, yeah, I do like Anthony Hopkins too, because if you haven't seen Magic, it is a class. It is like, oh my goodness. But right now, right now I'm giving the ups. I'm giving the flowers to Anthony Perkins. Underrated, I think. People don't get, when they talk about Freddy Krueger or anything like that, you got to go back to Anthony Perkins and just his underlying crazy that he portrayed in Norman Bates.
Yeah, I mean, nobody can debate what a classic Psycho is, but the character itself is definitely much more understated than all the other ones that we've mentioned today.
Yeah,
Except
even go back,
the Armitage family.
If you go back, and he was in Battlestar Galactica, or not Battlestar, Black Hole, Disney's Black Hole. He's a character in that, and just the way his little ticks that he does, it's kind of like a Jeff Goldblum. How Jeff Goldblum's got a tick.
He's in the Black Hole.
He's in the Black Hole. He's the only guy that gets wiped out pretty much. Okay. There's this thing where not Vincent. What's the big red? Is that Vincent? Yeah. Who's the big Maximilian, or what's his name?
Yeah, Maximilian.
Is his name Maximilian? That's funny because
the big guy,
the doctor, the actor that plays him is Maximilian Schell, which I think I might be related to. But anyway, and he blenders Anthony Hopkins, and Anthony Hopkins has like a book in front of him, and it's like, it's like you're watching this, and it's a Disney movie, and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? And he was also a bad guy in a Roger Moore movie. He's playing it. He's playing it like he's telling the guy, like, okay, well, we're gonna do this, and then he just gets. He's like, and you're gonna do it, He just like snaps on the dude. He had the gravitas, but he had that underlying gravity. He had like that under the cover, like, okay. And I mean, in the fact his personal life was crazy or whatever to many people, and he had it. Like Anthony Perkins, to me, hats off. He belongs on the Mount Rushmore in the spooky Hall of Fame.
Very cool.
Anyway,
I'm just saying, if I'm in any building and he walks in, I'm leaving.
Yeah, well, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Okay.
You mentioned the Psycho sequels. I remember watching like Psycho 2 and like you said, the early days of HBO.
HBO, yeah.
But I can't remember any of the movie. I'm sure I've never seen either of the other ones.
Oh, it's a good one because like you don't know if he's killing or because it's very psychological. It's like, oh, is he the kid dressing up as his mom again? But it's 40 years old, guys. He's not. It's not him. It's somebody else, and they're trying to make him crazy to get him put back in the insane asylum. And it's interesting. It's really good. And the ending is like, oh, okay, this is how the sequels are going to continue. And then part 3 is I think he directed part 3, and it's very sleazy. Like the third movie is very sleazy and just kind of wild. But if you want a good time, Psycho 2, turn the color off. It works, and you can just put it next to Psycho. I mean, it's not, Psycho's been kind of lifted up because of Hitchcock and all that stuff, but Psycho 1 has been lifted up, but Psycho 2, I think it fits, and it's a good follow-up. And, But real quick, back to Magic. Anthony Hopkins. If you love Anthony Hopkins for Hannibal Lecter, find Magic. He is so crazy in that because he's a magician or a card guy, and then because he flubs that, he gets into becoming a ventriloquist. And basically, what happens is he has a breakdown, and the ventriloquist dummy is basically his buddy, and he's talking to it, and you don't know if it's alive or if it's him, and he's nuts. And it's really good. It has Burgess Meredith, and one of my favorite parts that Burgess Meredith has done, and it's great. If you haven't seen Magic, you better get it. You better find some Magic. And it's spooky, but it's also like a psychological thriller.
Okay.
So it's really crazy, and it's like, and the ventriloquist dummy, it's supposed to look like Anthony Hopkins, but it also kind of looks like Alan Alda, who I promise, I bet you he was probably up. They probably wanted Alan Alda because this was MASH time, so they were probably going, oh, we'll get Alan Alda. And it kind of looks like him, but it also looks like Anthony Hopkins in a way. His name was Fats. The dummy's name was Fats. And he's creepy. I actually made a sticker of him because I always wanted to get the actual ventriloquist dummy, but no. He should have been one of my favorites. Another shout out, honorable mention to Fats, the dummy from Magic, because that dude creeped me out. The movie poster is just his face, and you're like, that's creepy, dude. I remember watching that and watching Elephant Man, which creeped me out, which it shouldn't, but it still did.
Yeah.
And, that's another Anthony Hopkins movie, Elephant Man. Yeah, he's in that. He's the doctor in that, and he's the emotional part of it. You know, he's the one that you're him, and you're viewing everything, and you're trying to help the Elephant Man, but alas, the Elephant Man couldn't be helped. Anyways.
Well, Nightmare on My Street by Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff.
What about the Fat Boys? Fat Boys had a Freddy rap. You don't remember the Fat Boys? Fat Boys.
Yes, I know who the Fat Boys were.
I don't think you do. I'm taking that cred away, pal. You don't get that cred no more with the Fat Boys. The Disorderlies.
I'm telling you, I was a big kid in high school at their prime. Do you not think I know who they were?
But
do you not think I got annoyed and got into fights every other day because of that?
Yeah, they had a video for it where Will Smith, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and the French Prince did not have a video for their Nightmare.
They had a video for Nightmare on My Street.
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't remember it. I remember the Fat Boys having one.
Because there's a picture of Will Smith with the sweater on in the hand.
I think that was the Fat Boys. I remember that because they used that generic ass. Pardon my French. They used the generic. My name. I'm Freddy Krueger, and I'm here to say I love slashing kids and amazing. They use that Super Bowl shuffle rap that every white person that can't rap uses. It's horrible. That is on the spooky list. White people rapping, like using that. I mean, they even use that on the Fred Flintstone rap. My name is Fred Flintstone. I'm here to say I love Fruity Pebbles in a major way. Yeah, it's everybody. I think it's the truth. You're afraid of creepy white girls. I'm afraid of bad rapping white people, badly rapping white people. That's what cringes me. That's cringy. That's not spooky time. That's cringy time. There you go. All right, folks, we did it. I think we got within an hour almost. Well, an hour, still over an hour.
Yep, we didn't make an hour, but we're doing good. I think we had a good discussion there. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed it. Leave a comment telling us who your favorite spooky characters are, and we'll wrap this thing up. Hey, I wanted to shout out two other channels. I want to shout out Legion of Comics is doing Comics Curing Cancer this whole weekend.
Okay.
So if you're interested in supporting that cause, I think they're putting up a bunch of stuff for sale, and all proceeds go to a cancer charity.
Okay.
And then also want to shout out a channel called Simple Simon. Simple Simon Comics did a video the other day where he went over his favorite Comic Gories moments and included my win over Comic Kid 84 in the 9.8 white pages category, and I won without having a slabbed book. Al showing off his sketches there. I don't know if Magic Lasso saw those earlier. He was commenting how he liked the Scooby-Doo villains, but I know he had to take off for work.
Yeah.
Tony's Workbench says Frankenstein meets Wolfman is my favorite of the original monster movies. First monster team up in epic battle. Yeah, that was the first time they got all of them together in one movie.
Yeah, I remember that. I love that. They used to have that book at the you could get at the library. They had the cover. That was beautiful. That is probably one of my favorite Wolfmans too. I love Lon Chaney Jr.
Ooh,
But
my favorite Wolfman's Wolfman Jack. Oh,
it's a Wolfman coming in. But maybe next. Are we doing a show next? We're probably not. But I can tell you, sketch them up. Sketch them up next weekend, huh?
I might do a stream. If I don't do a stream next Saturday morning, you can. Well, I don't know for sure I'm going to, but I'd like to. I want to do just a flip through of some old monster movie books that I have.
Oh,
And just
so
flip through that
you don't
and talk
need
about-
us, huh?
Huh?
You don't want us there, huh?
No, you can
No,
be on.
that's fine. I understand. I love that. Well, if I don't do it, you can do it.
Yeah,
How about
that's exactly how I meant it too.
Yeah, this is where you came up, buddy. Like
No,
if I'm not doing, you can do your crappy
You
art
sketchy
right
thing.
here.
you're getting too much shine. He's getting jealous.
Yeah, with the 2 views I get.
So-
And my own co-host doesn't even come on the show. The guy that I was like, hey, all those times we talked about, okay, well, Jamie's not here, we'll do something. And then what happens? I'm not here. I don't got it. Wow, man. Wow.
I told you I'll do better.
Yeah,
Well,
no, it's too late. 5 shows absence is not, dude. Come on. Anybody wants to watch Sketch 'em Up? I'll do it during. I guess I'll do it on my own time, and I can't do it on Saturdays next week. I've been preempted by the special Jamie Hood show.
Well, maybe we do both. You can draw, and I'll show books, and we'll flip the screen back and forth.
Yeah, we'll just be like, and then we won't talk. This is a break of the Beatles. I want my songs on this album.
We are back on our every other Saturday schedule for pop culture clobbering time, though. So
Okay.
next episode, we need to finish up our topics we put up for vote. So we'll be doing
Don't scare people
our
away.
favorite street level heroes.
Oh, we're still doing that?
Says the guy that put up that topic for discussion.
Yeah, that
Under the
was it.
pressure. I know I had 2 months to go on the topic.
We need to get some freshness, I guess. We can ditch that. Hey, anybody let's ask the fans. Well, the people that watch. I won't call them fans. What do you want to see us talk about? If you've gotten to this point, you can tell us what you want to see us talk about. Let's hear your ideas. Hey, Andy Jewett wants to join. We should get him in on a Saturday morning one of these days.
That reminds me, we can have Andy on. We're gonna have I need to talk it over with you guys. We're gonna have this crossover event with a podcast called This Is Why I Love Comics or something like that. But
Sure.
One of the hosts is friend of the channel, Michael Murphy.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be talking to those guys, and
I ain't talked to Mike in a minute.
you don't even know him, but
I was trying to play up the friend of the channel angle.
You don't know Andy either, but you'll get to know him. Too.
You don't know Andy like I know Andy.
Favorite monster truck model kits. Yeah.
Bigfoot from.
There's
No, monster
They were
model
weird.
kit. Not monster truck, monster model. Hold on a minute.
hold
on a minute. I'll see if I can.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know how you read monster
Oh,
truck.
oh.
That's
This
an
is the Aurora model kit.
There you go.
Frankenstein.
You got one more than I do.
you know, I'm
Dusty,
starting to
just
wonder
like-
here. I mean, as much as you claim that Jamie's Frankenstein, as much Frankenstein in that stuff as you have, I mean, is there a man crush happening here?
There is. It would be you that mentions that, Vic. Anyways,
I mean, you're holding the Frankenstein doll with the Frankenstein shirt.
I'm gonna put a beard on it. I'm going to now. I'm gonna get another one because this is cool.
Now, what's so special about an Aurora model?
They're
Or is that
old.
another show?
So Aurora was a famous model brand from the 50s through the early 70s, maybe 50s, maybe it was just 60s. I don't know.
Huh.
But
Good. Thanks
they
for
did
not knowing.
a lineup of Universal horror character kits.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know that they were actually licensed by Universal, so they bear a resemblance, but they didn't really get that accurate. But
So they spell Frankenstein with the I before the E?
no, I mean that's in the public domain, the name.
Frankenstein.
But they had the real iconic box art by James Bama, who was a famous illustrator from the era. The box art sold millions of kits for him, and the actual kits themselves, the Frankenstein might have been the best looking model, and the others were of varying degrees of sculpt quality.
Kind of like how the box art for round 2 is what really sells all those models.
Exactly. Yeah. Products of crap.
I didn't say that part. I'm trying to keep your job, man.
I like to say it's a combination of the two. Sharp box art and a quality product inside to keep them. We'll keep them coming back for more. But yeah, I think we'll wrap this episode up. We're going out to Zubu today. You going?
No. Oh, look, I'm all right. I know you get tired of me talking about St. Louis. Second best zoo in the country.
Right.
Probably the best because it's the free zoo, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do probably 2 weeks of zoo boo type of stuff. It's still free. Why is our little tiny zoo charging $12 a person?
It's a tiny little small town zoo.
$12.
Whatever. But we'll sign off. We'll see you next time now, Victor. We remind everybody on the J Hood Creative Channel, keep your priorities straight. Faith, family, comic books. We'll see you next time.
Whenever there's a crime, who's always there to fight it? Whenever there's a wrong, who's always there to right it? When someone breaks the law, who do people holler for? It's the